Well, when we do these in the fall, and we haven't seen each other in person in a long time. We talk on the phone and text, Emily and me, but when we do 900 square feet in the fall, we just go for as long as we want. They usually go 45 minutes or whatever. But in the new 900-second format, until then, it's 15 minutes. So in 900 seconds, tell me your whole life story.
Oh my God. You know what's funny is before we did this, you said it only is allowed to be 900 seconds. And in my head, I'm like, that could be like a half hour. I have no idea. So I had to do the math because I wasn't sure.
When I came up with the idea for the name, I was like, "Ooh, that's good. 15 minutes, 15 minutes or less." See, and
Perfect.
we're probably 45 seconds in, and I forgot to hit the stopwatch anyway. So, because we are the staff. Um, so, so this past Saturday, you were in Indianapolis, and you got to call
Yeah.
the first Pro Volleyball Federation All-Star match. This is the second season of pro volleyball, but they didn't do an all-star game the first year, and they did one this year, and it looked like things went well, and it was on CBS, and you were a courtside reporter, not a sideline reporter.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Lee, it was so much fun. I think going into it, I don't think anyone really knew what to expect because you had all these players that, most of them know each other and some of them have played either with or against each other, but they had never, done so in a team format. We didn't know kind of what the setup was going to be. Like, no one really knew a lot going in, but we were told about 2 days beforehand that the match was sold out, which was a really big deal. So it was about 7,000 people in the arena. There was like dozens of celebrities there. I mean, we got a list before the match of everyone and who they were, and we just like couldn't believe it. Jalen Rose, the former NBA player and commentator, and then Sean Johnson East, who is one of my like just absolute heroes. Won four.
Emily, you're a libero, a former libero, and she, of course, was a gymnast, and you towered over her, just absolutely towered over her in the interview.
Well, I had small heels on, but I met her and I was like, whoa, I don't know how to do this interview. I'm gonna have to like either crouch down. And I was like, well, that's disrespectful. So now I'm putting my mic down. I mean, she was a joy, but it was so cool to see because the crowd was sold out. The players were just so excited to be there and to play with each other. And it was the first ever professional volleyball match on CBS, which is really cool. For me, I hadn't done sidelines in I think a year and a half. So it'd been a really long time since I did anything like that. Most matches that I get to call a lot of times we'll pop off headset, at least for BTN, and do interviews. So I'm pretty good with like a post game interview, but I hadn't done hits in a while, listen to huddles or any of that. This was really cool to cover though, because yes, there was a match going on, but it wasn't really about the game. It was more so about the event as a whole. And we had like 9,000 interviews to do during the game, which is really cool. I talked to Sean Johnson East, I talked to Alicia Glass Childress, Brooke Nunneveller, just so many of the players that it was really, really cool to be a part of. And it went incredibly well. Team Shondell ended up winning. They ended up doing like a cumulative scoring because basically CBS was like, you get 2 hours, no more, no less. So we had to fit it in during that
Yeah, because
time frame.
when the match ended, there were a lot of interviews to keep it going.
Oh yeah, they
Yeah.
were a lot of
So
interviews, Lee.
there are a couple things that have you've been Emily's been covering Pro Volleyball Federation, doing announcing for the Indy Ignite, the new team.
Yep.
I'm covering Love League One volleyball and doing every match in that season. And there's a couple things that have jumped out at me. Um, but the young players who
Good.
you would think would not have been excelling are just jumping right into these two leagues and doing extremely well. And you saw
Yeah.
some examples of that um, this past weekend. I mean, the one who gets me the most is the former South Alabama player, Hannah Maddox. I mean, nobody even knew who
Yeah.
she was, of course, and she's just done a great job in her second year as a pro.
Yeah, it's been really fun. I mean, there were four rookies that were on the All-Star matches. Cameron Hanna, Merritt Beeson, now I'm forgetting people's names. Charity Looper, and who was the last one? Corey Lewis, who, I mean, oh my God, Corey Lewis has
Well,
been
she's
absolutely
hitting fifty
phenomenal.
percent for the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a good story about her that I didn't get to tell during the game, but she basically had no recognition up until her senior season and then played with Team USA during the summer. And that was the first time that she really gained confidence and kind of thought like, oh, I can hang with these girls. And now she's like leading the league in hit percentage. She's crushing it. So it's been really cool to see these rookies pop off. And I know for League One, like people like Jess Merzick are crushing it. It's been really cool to see. How's everything going with Love?
It's been really fun. It's a super competitive season. The level of play
Yeah.
has been fabulous. It's tough because And it's funny, I'm going to write about this week for my preview. It's 6 teams and everybody knows each other. There's 10 Olympians sprinkled among those 6 teams, and they know each other either from national teams, college, playing together in Europe. But I don't think the one thing that we considered was that one team could really have a tough go, and that's been Madison with great players. I mean, there's
Yeah.
nobody better or more to love than Lauren Carlini and Annie Drews and the team that they've
Yeah.
got, and they're riding a really tough losing streak right now. And you can feel it's like, well, it's our job to beat them, but you feel bad for them, and in the news conferences, it's like, um, what do you say,
Yeah.
because it's the same like in pro volleyball where there's only 8 teams and everybody plays each other. So eventually, it becomes almost redundant, if you will.
Yeah.
But to your point about the players who came right out of college, Sarah Franklin, Jess Merzick, Rachel Fairbanks in
Yeah.
Atlanta, which is leading the league. Let me tell you something. She is absolutely the real pro deal. She is just
How is she
fabulous.
still going? I mean, she could barely walk during the Final Four.
Yeah, no, when she's healthy, she's as good as anybody. But and the one player who just astounds me on your side is Brittany Abercrombie, who,
Oh my God, she's
you know,
amazing.
what really catapulted her back to or up to this level was Athletes Unlimited last
Yeah.
fall. And then she was great. She's been great in this season for Pro Volleyball Federation, and then she was great the other day.
Yeah, I had a long conversation with the teams practiced on Friday before the All-Star match, and that consisted of like 6 of the players basically doing a serve and pass just to like meet each other. But I was on the bus over with Alicia Glass Childress, and we just chatted for like a half hour, and I asked her about Abercrombie. I was like, how is this girl not getting looks in the USA gym? And I think a lot of it was like her game is just getting better and better. And honestly, I think she has a really good chance of potentially being an option in, I would hope for this VNL, but even in LA, like with the way that she's playing. And I think, Drews and JT, toward the tail end of their careers are not playing really necessarily at the level that we've seen in the past. And you have a player like Abercrombie who's just crushing it. So like, I think she should absolutely get some looks.
Let me tell you what, Jordan Thompson the last like 3 weeks has been as good as any player on the planet.
Yeah,
She
that's
has
fair.
just been absolutely tearing it up. She's averaging something like 17 or 18 kills a match, and she went because she was one who was banged up for a really long time.
Yeah,
She hasn't,
yeah.
and she's dealt with a lot. She's
Much,
just
much
been
better than what
fabulous.
we've seen last summer too.
Another player reminds me a lot of Brittany Abercrombie is Tessa Grubbs, who played at Tennessee, and when she was a left side, and when she went to Switzerland, she had a coach there who put her over on the right side, and it fits her perfectly. And she's just been spectacular. Unfortunately, week before last, she sprained her ankle in practice, and so she's been out. But she has been the single biggest surprise. And she's not. There are others who are just some of them where they're young, and you're like, my gosh, these kids. Skylar Fields is only this is only her second year
Yeah.
out. And then there are some players who we just hadn't thought about in a while, like Candy Hilera, who played at a couple of different schools and is just having a spectacular season.
Yeah.
Some of the joys of watching some of the individuals, like watching Micah Hancock with that vicious
Yes.
running left-handed drop down, eat you alive serve is just so much fun to watch. Again, she had put that on the shelf for a long time. And there are a couple other
I
players
think,
that come out of nowhere, like you remember Gia Day? She played at Maryland, transferred to Baylor, had a
yeah.
nice finish to her career. I really hadn't thought about her in a while. And then when she gets her opportunities for Atlanta, she's tearing it up.
Yeah. I
There's
think on the top spin serve note too, I think honestly that's if you normally only watch college volleyball and then you turn on professional volleyball, to me honestly that's the biggest difference is there are so many players with insane top spin serves because they don't really train it in the NCAA level. I think they're trying to limit jump count a little bit. But I mean professionally it's so effective and the players that are doing it like have been awesome. Even just for indie, like Nina Kajic or Chajic has an incredible top spin serve. Lekator Membermena, who's been out for the last few weeks, insane top spin serve. Like that to me has been so much fun to watch because it's a massive difference from the NCAA game.
Yeah, just to look at the kills leaders in love. So Jordan Thompson has 106. Sky Fields, who led the NCAA in kills a couple of years ago, is 104. Then Maddie Skinner, almost forgot. I mean, how do you almost forget about Maddie Skinner? She's playing over on the right side. She's hitting bics that are just ridiculous. sometimes. Sarah Franklin is fourth. And then Ronnie Jones-Perry, who played at BYU, is a veteran. She's been playing internationally for a while. And then Jess Merzick is sixth. So three of those top six hitters are first year out of college, and Sky is, her second year out.
Let me ask you, do you think Skinner's better on the right side? Do you think it's a better fit for her? I haven't watched them a ton.
You know, you know how like different serve receive patterns in different places. She hits a lot on the left side. It's not like she
Yeah.
doesn't, but she blocks balls because she jumps so high. She probably well, you made me think of something I was talking about the other day. So let's say in theory for 2028, let's say she's on the team and in the mix. If Catherine Plummer were to go to the right side, which has always been discussed, although I would certainly keep her on the left if possible, does that open up, obviously another outside hitter spot? But if Catherine's,
You need a good passer.
yeah, um, the one, another one who's shown a wicked arm, but occasionally has, you look at her and go, oh, she's got to get into the gym, is Claire Chaussee, who was ACC Player of the Year for Louisville, went to the championship match, but then every once in a while she gets eat up too on serve receive, and that doesn't make her unique. That's always what we always end up talking about and pointing to.
Yeah.
Can they
One
handle the pressure of that
Yeah, one
serve?
one player on the PVF side. I mean, Leah Edmond, she was the MVP of PVF last year. She's
Yep.
obviously an incredible player, but I think the biggest jump in her game has been that serve receive piece. I did their match on Thursday, and I think coming into that, she was averaging like 60% in system, which is insanely high for an outside. So to me, I think that
Well,
should have a lot of jumps in her game and maybe some looks from the USA gym. I mean, she puts balls down left and right. She has an insane arm.
oh, she
But
leads
her
she
passing has
leads
been
the
great.
league and she leads Pro Volleyball Federation in aces. She's
Yeah,
I think she's second in kills. I'm looking here, and she's
she's
right up there.
crushing it.
She's like fourth in blocks.
Yeah,
And
she's
Leah
all
doesn't.
around. She's incredible.
I've never thought about it like in terms of like exactly measuring her, but she may not. She looks like she doesn't jump as high as a lot of athletes, but she just gets the job done.
Yeah, I
She's
mean, her
impressive.
arm speed
Yeah,
is insane.
yeah. Morgan Hens looks pretty good.
Yeah. You know, one player that's really impressed me, and I obviously watch them a lot because I'm an indie, but Ajani Teeler on the right side has been phenomenal. I mean, she was great during the All-Star match. She put up 10 kills and hit 500, but all season long, she's been insane. And it's been really fun to watch because last season she started off at Orlando as a practice player and wasn't even on the roster until halfway through the year. And now she's having, like a potential like MVP kind of season. She's absolutely crushing it. She's been so much fun to watch, and I'm really proud of her. She's like 5'10". She's really small, but she does not play like it.
Oh, she's not 5'10" either, and she played middle at Kentucky. But she's another one who's moved to the opposite and is doing
Yep.
really, really well. Real quick, because we are close to those 900 seconds. Tell me, why are some of these players benefiting so much from moving into the outside of the middle and going to the right side? What makes it better for them?
I think when you can just focus on hitting, it really helps players. Whether it's a front court or the back row, you either have to focus on blocking, which you have to do anyway, but if you can just go hit and not have to think about passing, anything like that, or as a middle, you're so worried about where's the ball going and schemes and all of that. If you can literally just go hit and just go block your outside, I think it really simplifies the game for a lot of these players, to just let them like go be big and aggressive.
She is Emily Ehman and having a little bit slower time this winter than she does in the summer and the fall. I think you have yet another ski trip planned.
Oh yeah, I'm leaving Friday for Utah.
Good for you. Um, you, I know, but having a ball covering the Indy Ignite, I've had a ball watching. I've covered every single Love match, either in person or watching them on TV, and then acting like I'm there. And they had the Love Classic 2 weeks ago, and then
Yeah.
the Love Championships are mid-April in Louisville, and Pro Volleyball Federation is in May, I believe.
Yep, second week of May.
So we will both be busy for a while. This is so much fun for us to catch up and do this. And thank all of you for watching this. And if you haven't subscribed to 900 Square Feet, the email, hopefully you're watching this and you've subscribed to this YouTube channel. Go to the link and please subscribe to our daily all volleyball email, the only one of its kind in the free world. So follow her on Twitter and Instagram at Emily Ehman. This is so much fun. So great to catch up.
Yeah. Yeah, you're the best.
Let's see here. I still haven't gotten any better at figuring out how to stop
Well,
recording.
that's new.
There we go.